Welcome to Reviews with Ray. I'm so excited you guys came to join me and check out this show. This is going to be an amazing series for TV shows and films, but right now we're talking about Loki. This show is amazing. This show has me on edge. A few things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Loki's arc, where he was to where he is now. Then we're going to talk about some cinematic shots. I think in this season, it just blows my mind to see how amazing they specifically key in on certain sequences. Lastly, we're going to talk about the overall story of how all of these elements combine together. And man, for the final bonus, I really want to break down and go into some of the things that have happened in other universes. Maybe some things that you didn't really realize, but some Easter eggs, if you will. But stick with me, and we're going to check this out.
What am I?
You're my son,
Loki, brother of Thor. What more than that? I am Loki of Asgard. The casket wasn't the only thing you took from Jotunheim that day, was it? And I am burdened with glorious purpose.
Loki's arc, his evolution is amazing to watch. We can see him go from this conniving person and selfish person before the TVA to this compassionate and selfless person at the end of season 2. And I think it's amazing to watch him go from this villain to this hero, really. And we can see him really understand that the only way that things go back to normal and things don't go into disarray is if you kill Sylvie, a version of himself. And he just can't do it. And he realizes that where she is, he's been. And she can change as a result of a sacrifice, which was himself. He said, you know what? I'm going to take on the flow of time. His arc, his evolution was amazing to see. You definitely saw the difference after all of those centuries, learning from Ouroboros. He truly did change the way that things were.
Again.
Here's a failsafe.
Again.
The cinematic shots in this show, they are amazing. He Who Remains, played by Jonathan Majors, is in a rare form performance, talking about the temporal loom. And as he's talking about the temporal loom, you can see him really go through and really describe and help people understand what this could really do as far as time is concerned. And the camera is moving through the crowd. You can see Jonathan Majors moving with the camera. And it's an amazing sequence happening all together. The sound, the lights, everything just works in this scene. And then, of course, having Jonathan Majors perform it's just the cherry on top. It's really an amazing scene. Another scene was in episode 6 where Loki was actually going to the throne as the king of time, as the holder of time. And I just found it so interesting to see him walking up the steps and just how cinematically beautiful it was. It was cinematic magic to see Loki walk up to the throne and just take all of time on his back. And you can hear the grunts like, "Yeah!" It was phenomenal. And when he got there, the throne was his. Time was his. And as we saw this, the graphics were precise. It was amazing. He is now the holder of time. This green thing of beauty, of his beauty, because he now is able to control what happens. Now, going into the overall story, I thought it was amazing how Loki gave the TVA members their memories. He gave them their thoughts. He gave them a life that they didn't know about, basically, before the previous TVA, where He Who Remains wiped their memories. Another thing that was amazing was you could really see how he was just in this constant loop of trying to figure things out, when in fact he was just gaining knowledge to take over. And I really don't think that He Who Remains is gone. That was insane that he took over all of time and now He Who Remains is not existent. I can't believe that. In the overall story, we can see that Loki basically was in a time loop. He Who Remains never died. If you remember in the last episode, He Who Remains was basically explaining to him, you think I was going to let her kill me? No, that's just what's supposed to happen. And as a failsafe, the temporal loom will just be done for. Everything will be finished. All of the timelines will be wiped. This is what it is, and you can't change it unless you kill her. I thought that was so crazy. It made me feel like when in season 1, Mobius had Loki through a time loop constantly and didn't take him out until he would change. That didn't change Loki. Loki was still going to be Loki. What changed Loki was when time did not allow his friends to see another day. That's when things changed. When things were going to just be in disarray and there would be no more TVA, it made him sad because of everything that he's learned. And I think we get to this point and we get to actually see Loki blossom and become this different person that we never met. And I'm just wondering if Loki would do the same thing and talking to his friends by just making a variant of himself that is himself on the timeline and being able to see them, because it's like he's stuck being the holder of time. This whole entire show was poetic. I really did love it a lot. I really hope you guys have been following along and checking it out. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, share, comment. And I would like to know what you think, because do you think Loki can actually get back on the timeline, although he is the holder of time? Let me know in the comments. This is Reviews with Ray. I'm so glad you guys decided to stop by. I'll see you soon. Peace, and until next time.